The practice of joint manipulation and treating fractures date back to ancient times and has roots in most countries. These early bone setters would treat fractures with wooden splints wrapped in bandages or made a cast around the injury out of a plaster-like mixture. Over the years, this practice has proven to be effective and reliable in the treatment of bone-related injuries. I have treated over 1,000 people, and I have reset the bones of over 1,000 people. You see, there are different types of fractures, but for us here, when you come with fracture with bones outside, it doesn't scare us. Dantala Ahmad in Kano has been in this practice for over 70 years. He inherited the practice from his parent and is now passing same to his children. All these are my children, and we are over 20 in this house. And believe me, there is no fracture that scares us. Everybody in this house can reset your bone. And whenever you bring it here, we will do our best to make sure that your leg or your hand or whatever, any part of your body that got dislocation, we reset it. Traditional bone setting is a type of a folk medicine in which these practitioners are engaged in joint manipulation. Before the advent of modern medicine, these bone setters were the main providers of this type of treatment. They practice without any formal training in accepted modern medicine procedures. They also reduce joint dislocations and reset bone fractures. You see, I don't have any formal education, but there are so many hospitals in this Kano that do ask me to go to their hospital and be practicing. But I refuse. I told them my father asked me to practice at home, because if I go to the hospital, somebody that's supposed to give me 5,000 naira, the hospital authorities will ask that person to pay 100,000. Since when I was a kid, if they bring somebody with dislocation or fractures, our parent will ask us to watch and see how they are doing it. And gradually, we equally learned how to do it. And today, that is our main source of income. Although the practice of traditional bone setting still exists among communities in northern Nigeria, but these people say the lack of attention by government authorities is threatening their age-long tradition, which would have otherwise reduced pressure on the overcrowded modern healthcare institutions. You see, I do admit people here. Sometimes we keep people here. People will stay here for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, up to a year. When they recover, they will go home. But the problem is that we don't have enough facilities to be admitting people here. As old as this practice, to date, people still troop into traditional bone setters for treatment and often regard it as the most reliable and less cost-effective compared to the modern orthopedic care. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.